All right, welcome back. Been a long time since I did any videos, mainly because I haven't been building anything or anything like that. Had some life things going on project-wise that have kind of taken up all my money. So that's why I haven't done any jet builds or anything like that. I've done some small things like that. I'm working on a little Savart MB339 for my dad, but that's about it. Nothing crazy. And I don't have anything coming in the future. I was going to get something to replace a jet, kind of an everyday flyer jet. But upon, working with people and then hearing from current owners of the particular jet that I was looking at, I decided no way. So don't really have anything out right now of interest to replace my Viper jet that I lost at Georgia Jets this past year. For those that didn't know about that. Yeah, it was ugly, but what can you do? It's kind of my first real big jet crash, which was kind of a huge loss. Luckily, everything inside of it, because those Skymaster F Viper jets are pretty flimsy, so when it hit, it just disintegrated and turbine came out, everything kind of came out of it, but nothing was damaged. I checked the motor out, no issues with the motor. All the electronics are good. The landing gear is even good. The tanks are good. So technically, I could just get another jet if I wanted to. It'd probably be the easiest thing because, they're easy to fly. They're reliable. It was a good kind of everyday kind of jet. But trying to get anything from Skymaster these days with shipping and everything else that's going on in the world, it'd be kind of a painful process. Plus, again, it's a money issue because I'm using money towards other things, which I'll get to in a minute. So I'm on the lookout. I did sell the F-18 to a friend. I just couldn't get motivated. I don't know, I'm kind of weird when it comes to things. Some of my friends make fun of me about it. I'm not overly anal, but I'm particular, and just having a paint scheme that wasn't right. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't get me wrong, that's kind of the misconception that some of my friends have, is like it has to be perfect or it's no go. No, it just has to be close, and not big giant blemishes that have to be redone. And I just don't have the ability, one, knowledge-wise, to paint. I know it's not hard, but it's just one of those things that I've never really tried at. So, and just didn't have the place or the equipment to do. So ultimately, I sold it to an individual that I know will fix it and fly it. It's a good jet. There's nothing wrong. I'd fixed all the issues. It just, just didn't look pretty. So that's gone. So I only have the F-22, the F-14, and my small Harlock jet-wise to fly. I have a couple other projects that are new that I haven't even flown yet that I'll get to. It's just been, weather this year, motivation, and just busy doing other things. But anyway, so the reason for the video, since I didn't have any kind of a jet thing to build, I figured my other projects, I might just kind of film for people that care. Gives me something to do, plus it helps me because I'm taking on a lot of do-it-yourself projects that aren't hard, but just because I've never done them before, a lot of YouTubing. And from what I've seen from past videos, threads, internet in general, that people will correct you in a heartbeat, which is great because you learn. They learn, I learn, and it helps out, get things done. So that's kind of why I'm going to film kind of this future project. And then another project that I'm still kind of on the fence about, which I'll show you guys too. Definitely if I decide to do that project, I'm going to film it. One, it has two functions. One being kind of helps the overall process of the end result that comes from it, or that has to come. And plus it helps, like I said, people point out your mistakes in a heartbeat and give you gives you some tip hits or, tricks to kind of to do what you need to do. So plus it's fun, it keeps me motivated with a project if I'm filming it and, letting people see, what's going on. I know people don't really give a shit about me, but it gives me something to do, them something to do. Because I watch a lot of YouTube channels, especially with these days with general aviation and things like that, and some other RC builders that have kind of come along that have started doing it like full time. So supports them, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of my reasoning for doing those. But I hope to get back to something. I'm waiting on a particular couple jets to be hopefully eventually manufactured. One, I want a large F model F-18 to replace the one I had. And two, I would love to have a large, large A6, but nobody's getting around to that. Meebo's been at it for years. The gear, this and that. And then there's an individual out in Texas that's doing kind of an EDF kit, which is kind of it's just not what I'm looking for. So, hopefully someday somebody makes one. Probably not, but you never know. That's what a bucket list is for. Okay, so anyways, let me get turned around here and I'll kind of talk shit what's going on and what I got going on. Wow. It's outside. I don't have a lot of light, so excuse the light. It's getting cold, so I figured I would knock this out before it gets too dark and too cold. Because this particular building that you see has power, but doesn't have lights in yet, or a heat or cool kind of thing. So that's kind of what this video is showing. So if you haven't seen any of my page or my Facebook page, I have, since moving here to Alabama, I have had a shop built. And this was the one thing that I didn't get with the retirement home from the Army, was a shop. So luckily the wife's cool with it. I totally went overboard. My mental picture and measurements obviously don't line up, so it's almost embarrassingly too big. And I'll kind of talk about that in a minute, but like everybody keeps telling me, nobody ever wishes they had a smaller shop. So let me get to showing you what we got, and then I'll kind of point out some projects that are possibly coming in the future and things like that. So yeah, so here we go. So I'm going to flip this around. Okay, so getting to the shop, I'm just going to back up here. So I went with the shop overall is a 24 by 54, roughly the same square footage as a 30 by 40, so about 1,200-ish, 1,200 plus square feet. 10-foot ceilings, which I wanted. That makes the room look bigger, and allows me to do things. So that was kind of what we decided on the shop. And there's another side to this, and it's kind of hard to see because I have a 24-foot enclosed trailer that takes up a driveway. Excuse the noise, it's kind of windy and there's some plastic flapping right now until we get it all finished, but you open up the door. So the truck and trailer bay is a 18 by 60 with 16-foot ceiling. So it's more like an RV bay, which I don't have an RV or a fifth wheel, but you never know, someday maybe, or if I ever decide to sell, this is kind of like, because people this day and age cannot find places to even park their fifth wheels or their RVs, this would be like a perfect scenario for them. So, and it gives me room to expand because I do want to get another trailer. Probably will stick with the same length. I just want to go a little bit taller, maybe 10, 12 feet tall on the trailer, because the door is a 14-foot door. So I got plenty of room to get in and out. But so that's what this bay is. It gets the trailer out of the driveway and it frees up the driveway. Plus I have a place to put my truck, so my everyday driver's not sitting out in the driveway all the time, I can actually put it in the house garage. So that was kind of the intent for that. So yeah, and I do have a trailer full of insulation. That's kind of one of the do-it-yourself kind of things I'm doing. I wanted to do, I'm gonna just leave this open. I wanted to do, that's kind of what I'll be doing here shortly, and I already kind of started it just to kind of show what we're doing here. So I wanted to do the rock wool insulation. It's really good insulation. It's way overkill for the south here, but you know, it's great. It's great sound dampening. It's great insulation, flame retardant. You know, it has some benefits over the traditional stuff. It's a little bit more expensive, but definitely cheaper than spray foam. I had a quote for this place on spray foam, and it was just ridiculous. It was like probably it was about $12,000 to spray foam this, which is just ridiculous. And I had another guy come in and quote just traditional mineral wool insulation with blow-in for the ceilings, and it was like $6,300. So knowing that, you know, none of the guys could get the, and you can kind of see I kind of put a couple in here already, just kind of messing around doing it, you know, insulation, but none of the guys could get the rock wool because it's so popular. You know, they were having to go buy it at like Home Depot and Lowe's if people wanted it. So I just kind of kept a lookout, and Lowe's, or actually, yeah, Lowe's happened to get, I needed 54 bundles for this place, and they just happened to get a huge shipment in. So I went and bought it all, and it was, you know, taxes and stuff out the door was $2,700. And then with what I'm going to need for the blow-in, it pretty much probably be a little cheaper. Actually, I'll probably save about $1,000 doing it myself over the quote I got for traditional installation. So that's what I'll be doing here soon as well. So that's the shop layout. I do plan on sheetrocking and having a ceiling on both sides. That'll probably be, well, at least the ceiling has to get put up to do the blow-in, but that'll kind of be the last part of this. And it's definitely a project that's going to take a while because I spent a year's salary, pretty much this whole year's salary, just on the building. You know, I try to pay as much out of pocket as I could. You know, and I did about 70% of this building out of pocket, so it's good. And it's about total square footage was just under 2,400 square foot. So I mean, it's almost like a little house. But like I said, I have need for a large shop, and that side. You know, that's what made it so big, was that side, getting the trailer, getting a place to put the trailer and the truck out of the way. So. Oof, we're getting long-winded here. Okay, so I'm going to do a pause X. I'm going to stop this video, and I'm going to start another video just from keeping these videos from being so long. You guys probably don't care about this stuff anyways. I'm just going to do a lot of talking today and finish it up. So I'm going to stop this video, start another one just to kind of keep them short for upload times, and I'll get right back on finishing where I picked up or left off. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.